Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Hello, kids. This one's all over the frickin' place, so this is gonna take a while. I want to know if you could make a video about how colleges work. I know in Bachelor Economics you advise to look at the Bureau of Labor Statistic and look for mainly three things. One, the job market. Two, education time. And three, minimum salaries when attending college. But this is more of a knowledge and not experience approach. My question is, what advice you would give starting out for a 10, 15, or 17-year-old? For example, hypothetically, I live in LA, so if I wanted to go, do I go to a community college first, go to Cal State? Which annual income do I need to apply for Fed aid? Some people apply to universities that get rejected. How does that work? And then she's wondering why I charge $100. If you could give a big analysis of the topic, I feel that would be really cool. Which credits transfers, which do not? Is it the same for a trade? The whole 9 yards. Let me know the price. Thank you again. Happy Thanksgiving. All right. Let's just go through this individual. All right, I'm going to go through a more logical approach using my brain on how people at various ages at 10, 15, 17 should approach college. And then the details of which are going to depend on the state you're in, the university institution you're attending, what the policies are of each individual university or college in terms of accepting credits and transfers. We'll go through all that later. Here's the general principle by which all other decisions, thoughts, and calculations should derive from, whether you're 10 or 17 or 27. You are only going to college to increase your income. Now, I know a lot of pussy millennials, probably not a lot of pussy Gen Zers. I definitely know a bunch of pussy Gen Xers and a bunch of pussy baby boomers. All of them spread the lie that you go to college to expand your mind. That you don't go to college for money. The education is not, it's not an investment. It's not this cold calculated thing. And I would be with you if it was the baby boomer generation, when college was $3.27 for a doctorate. You know, remember the baby boomers? They had it so tough when, tuition was like, I remember, those were the days you could work part-time. I had to work full-time and barely got through college without debt. Baby boomers could work a part-time freaking job. They could attend school and they could get a degree. That's how cheap tuition was back then. Now you idiots, you go and throw all your money in there. So back when college was cheap, it was a cheap education, cost was moot. I will even go with you with the debate with the baby boomers, baby boomer college, that you were also paying, that the college experience was worth it. That for you to go to this institution of learning that was dedicated towards learning, an environment that is not studying from home or you're at some kind of crappy minimalist 1970s architecture building and you're taking a community ed class. But no, this is a campus. I'm remembering the U of M had what's called the Mall, and it was this classical Roman architecture buildings. It was nice, there's nice sculpted lawns and trees. It's like, no, this is an institution of learning. That's what the purpose of this institution is. I would even say that, yes, spending a little bit of money on having that, quote, college experience would have been worth it. But shortly after that, it was not. Tuition now, they sniffed it out, man. Those baby boomers, they sniffed it out. They said, we can make these kids. They say, you need to have a bachelor's degree to have an entry level. We need to have this progressive credentialism. Because what it started with, what are us worthless liberal arts degree baby boomers going to do for work? I know, let's teach. Let's jack up the tuition. And hey, by the way, and you guys, you so intelligent millennials, you such independent-minded, you Gen Z, I are so smart and independent-minded. You guys line up like the sheep you are to pay not for tuition, not for education. You line up to pay for these make-work bullshit jobs for the baby boomers and now Gen X classes who are too lazy to major in real shit. So your diversity counselors, your diversity directors, your Title IX people, your assistant reserve vice, what is it? There's like usually a chair or secretary or a department of college life, all this crap. You see it happening in the K through 12. We used to have a principal and a vice principal. That was it. Now we have counselors and feel-good people and the touchy-feelies and this department and that department. And then those people cost a lot of money. I mean, heck, U of Michigan, didn't they have like 100 diversity hires? Not affirmative action hires, but where their title was actually about diversity or inclusion? And they were all paid, I think, on average $100,000. Maybe it was several hundred, and then it was $186,000. They were paid this insane amount of money, and then you dipshits, you quote smart kids going to college, you actually can't figure out why tuition is so high. So the point is, college has moved from being an actual institution of education, no, you could even say self-improvement, to that of a scam and a racket of taking as much money as they can out of you, the community that provides scholarships, and your parents that are stupid enough to co-sign your loans or mortgage their house or take money out of the retirement funds to pay for your degree. And with the price of tuition being what it is, you gotta look at it as an investment. It has to have a return on investment. Not only because of the price you're being asked to pay, but because if you're not getting the college experience, that's long gone. This is just go here and get indoctrinated by Marxists and listen to a bunch of hairy armpitted women bitch and whine about not having enough money living in the world's greatest countries ever. It's also that education now is effectively free, especially educations, and even I will not say that the liberal arts and humanities are totally worthless, like the classical education. You can get that for free. There's these things called books. Let me show you one pertinent to this topic. So books, you can go online and get them. Instead of paying $1,000 for a textbook like that Madison professor required the students, you can go get books for a lot cheaper than that. On Kindle even, for like under $10. And the world's great classical education is effectively free. Now, if you can't afford these books, let me tell you about this new invention. It's called the library. Now, at the library, other people like me who work for a living pay taxes so that you could get books actually for free. You borrow these books at the library and you read them and you get educated. And if the library is too far away for you, which it is for me, you know where I've gotten a spectacular liberal arts education, a spectacular humanities education, it is by listening to podcasts and documentaries online. I don't know why people don't do this more, but you have all these documentaries now that were filmed beforehand, History Channel, Timeline, whatever, and experts in the field. Russian Rulers History Podcast. You want a doctorate in Russian history? Binge on the Russian Rulers History Podcast. You download these for free. If it's YouTube, you convert them to MP3s. You put them on your little MP3 player or your Cellio phone, and then you listen to it, and then you learn about history. You get your education for free. People are now like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like one of those idiots, well, not idiots, one of those really smart people on Jeopardy. I'm like, yeah, that was the Battle of Hattin or Hattin. Saladin, guy, Muslim, figured it out. Stop the Crusaders. Never mind. I now know the difference between the Hittites and the Assyrians. I kind of understand why World War I happened. All this other stuff, it's for free. So the arguments now for college being an experience or that you can't put a price on education, that is so old hat. So old, so outdated, so obsolete, so irrelevant now, that if you are a person of any age and looking at college, or a loved one of yours is looking at college, you must insist, if you respect yourself, that you get a rate of return. So that immediately and quickly relegates your education to the trades to engineering and some STEM fields, not all of them, and anything else that has a high return on investment. Right? Then it also governs, you got to shop around. Where do I find the best deal? And what you find here is it doesn't matter where you go to school, it matters what you study. Now, this doesn't mean you can go to any school, because as you may have known in the aughts, there were fly-by-night schools that weren't accredited, and they're stealing kids' money. But these kids were so intelligent and smart, they knew better. Now they're corrupt, they're broke and bankrupt. So you go to the U.S. Department of Education. They have a list. They show you which schools are accredited or not. So you go to an accredited college. Now, finally dipping into your stew of questions, do you go to community college first, then you go to Cal State? All right, let's start there. Yes, and I would say it even starts before community education or community college, and before you're 18 going off to college. It starts as soon as it possibly can at your state. Now again, the state determines the rules. Some places you could just walk up to your community college and say, I would like to take classes. And they're not going to require an SAT, they're not going to require a high school diploma. Just walk in. Now, again, to show you the variances between the states, in Minnesota, the rule is you have to be a high school something, and you have to apply. And then you could take classes, I think, for free. Michigan's different. If you're in high school, you could take college classes for credit for free. So a lot of college kids, the smart ones, are high school flunkies. You got a 20-year-old in high school who keeps flunking, well, because he gets free tuition. So he's acing his calculus exam in college, but he's purposely flunking it in high school because Democrats and liberals and government figure shit out so wonderfully. I don't know what rules there are in California, but that's where it is the job of the parents to actually, what's the word they call? Oh yeah, parent. You gotta figure out, okay, what's the youngest age I can get my kid into college? Because let's be very clear, in my day, I think my generation was the last time where there was a measurable difference between the challenge and difficulty of college versus K through 12 education. Now, colleges have been dumbed down so much. There is no difference between an 8th grade English composition course and a freshman in college composition course. Kids today who are in middle school, I don't even want to say if they're smart, if they're just serious about their studies, can easily bang out at least your bullshit liberal arts, communist, hate white dick studies, Marxist suck dick studies classes, all right? And what I would recommend you do is you find any venue to get accredited college credits that will transfer to a 4-year institution or a 4-year program, an accredited 4-year institution, 4-year program. So the options then are, you could go online, where there's going to be, right now the two main ones are ASU online and Western Governors University online. I don't know if they accept kids. You're going to have to find that out on your own. I know for a fact, many state programs have online classes that you could take. I would say even start earlier with the online stuff. You can go to school online. There's an online high school where you don't have to deal with the fucking prison known as the K through 12 education system, where you can just have your kids study at home. All right. You try to skip high school is basically what it is. You try to skip high school, and you try to skip your first 2 years of college by taking courses that satisfy those 2 years of worthless prereqs. All right. So you go to school online. You go to check out the local community college, see if they allow minors to attend. You go see if your state has online classes you can take. You can see what programs the high school offers, like Michigan, potentially, that you could take college classes for free. The hardest hurdle, having dealt with teenage kids before, when I'm like, hey, now's the time, kid, is if you've sent your children to K through 12, public or private school, doesn't matter, they're taxed, they're defeated, because school just sucks it out of really intelligent kids. And they're not going to have a soul left or any energy to go and take those classes. Let alone when you say, yeah, this isn't what you're going to get to study. Oh, no, you don't really get to study what you want until you're 21. Because you see, all these scumbag, socialist, leftist, communist, professorial fucks have to steal your money first and have their make-work government job. What's a grad student in sociology or archaeology or women's studies supposed to do? You got to support that piece of parasitic shit. You got to borrow money and pay that person $400 credit after management takes $300 of it away. So it's going to be very hard to get your kids excited about it if you wait until they're 15 or 16. So you got to explain this starting, I think 10 is a good age, when kids have math and logic. And you say, look, here's the deal. College is bullshit. It is this unnecessary hurdle, but we're going to go do some backdoor stuff. And when I say, I know that sounds like being a father, dictating things. Oh my God. When I say you're going to do it, you're going to do it. And you're not going to give me no fucking lip. And it's going to be easier over the long run. I'm going to save you a lot of money and time. I'm going to save me a lot of money and time. And then you're going to be graduate. Ideally, you be having a really good STEM degree at the age of 20 with no student loan debt. And that's what you could explain. So that by the time they're 15 or 16 and they've had their 18th fat, bloated schoolmarm of an English teacher. This is a jangling participle, pronoun, adjective. They're not, they see the goal. They see the goal like, oh, this is the goal. And why are we going? So I can make money. And you show them charts a day. So see what teachers make? That's because teaching isn't a real job. It's 9 months a year. And you sit there, yeah. You see your teachers. Do you hate your teachers? You bored with your teachers? How much do you think that takes? Doesn't take much down, does it? Engineering, see that? They put shit into orbit. You think a teacher can do that? No. You want to know why? Teachers suck. All right? Now, do you want to suck or do you want to be cool? Which one do you want to be? Oh, and by the way, if you could have your kids avoid all the social bullshit that high school and middle school is. But nah. You need to work, right? It's important you got your career. Because fuck the children. So it starts then. So everyone's going to have to do some kind of research. I know, parents, it sucks. You got kids. You might have to look shit up for them. And tackle it as a team and see what avenues are available for your child to start getting college credit as soon as possible. Now, again, you got to double check to make sure that whatever institution they go to is accredited through the U.S. Department of Education. And even then, that's not a guarantee. That means they got college credits, but colleges, they know that their credits, like I remember taking AP courses. And AP courses merely allowed you to skip classes. It didn't lessen the number of credits you had to get because, again, colleges and teachers and educators are probably the most evil, vile thing. At least Muslim terrorists got a moral cause. You may disagree with the morality and the underpinnings of that morality, but at least they got, in their minds, they think they're doing right. Teachers just know that, and what I hate the most about them is they hide behind the children. They lie, right? They say, we're doing it for the children. You don't hate the children, do you? We love the children so much, that's why we got to charge them $400 a credit. So don't be surprised. This is what you do. Or go here and explain every possible permutation of the 50 states. Fuck you, all right? You got to do the research. Find out, okay, little Jimmy at the age of 14 or 15 goes to ABC Community College. Will those credits transfer into the UF system? So you got to do that research. You got to find out what programs and things exist for that. And is it that they actually get college credit, or are they skipped over and say, oh well, no, but you just don't have to take these classes? Because if that's the case, then why bother working twice as hard? Which annual income do I need to apply for Fed? I don't know. Fill out your FAFSA form. Don't ask me. I'm not a FAFSA expert. I'll tell you this. You guys almost want to hire a FAFSA expert. If you're a parent and you got your kid, your income can really fuck that kid up, right? So what I would be doing is, move your money somewhere. How much do you have? It's assets and income. That's all really basically. What's your wealth and how much do you make? If you can do whatever you can to make it look on paper that you're poor, I would do so. Because otherwise, you make that much money? Well, fuck you, asshole. You're paying full tuition. You don't get any money. Now, I would make this argument that if you go to community college and you go online, and you do so when the kid is young and you find the right programs. See, I hated scholarships. I hated because it's like, do all this work and maybe you'll get compensated. Well, fuck you. I'll go actually work and get compensated. So the amount of time and effort and money that you spend filling out and applying for loans and federal aid, I mean, if you can just find a cheap place to go, like, what's the price? That's a fair deal. No, I'll pay cash. Here you go. You can avoid the month's worth of labor that it takes to apply for a scholarship. Oh, I remember they had this big-ass book of scholarships. You can apply for this scholarship, along with all the other little 4.0 fuckers who, like, you know, suck dick in school. Like, oh, I'm the perfect little kid. Like, oh, I hated those people. And just throw that away. Don't even look at that. Don't even, you know, that beige. It had that beige. It was like a phone book. Oh, you knew if it's got phone book paper, you know it's just slavery. So fast. In other words, what I'm telling you is, yes, okay, make whatever adjustments you can on your income and asset side to make yourself look as poor as possible. But instead of trying to apply for federal aid, I think you'll save a lot more money. Your time should be spent shopping for the cheapest accredited education possible. So you go through whatever program online, you go through whatever local community college, you build up as many credits as you possibly can, and then the last 2 years you actually pay full price, even then, at a state school that's accredited and isn't MIT or whatever else. I'll say this again because it pisses off all the right people, but it still remains true. If you want it to be free, then you can join the military. That's why I recommend you do. You get the GI Bill. So that answers that question right there. Some people apply to universities and get rejected. How does that work? Well, in the olden days, okay, it's not even in the olden days. You take an institute like Harvard, MIT, where more people want to attend than there are seats in the classroom. And these universities can't accept everybody. I understand that. That's right on their part. And so they have, it's like, well, no, either your SAT wasn't high, your GPA wasn't wrong, or you didn't have the right skin color, you didn't have the right plumbing because we're racist and we're sexist. And that's what those institutions are. That's what they are. I also argue that schools like Harvard, anything that's been co-opted by politics, where they're more focused on the color of your skin than the content of your character, are corrupt entities and are like Harvard back in the day was a top school. Now it's completely worthless. I'll never hire anyone from the Ivy League. I might hire someone from, like, say, Wharton or the U of Chicago, but I would never hire anyone from the Ivy League anymore. The only reason you go to an Ivy League school is because of the name and networking. That's it. The education is no better. I would say it's even worse, and it's overpriced. And long term, again, doesn't matter where you go, it's what you study. So yeah, anyway, so a lot of people want to go to Harvard or whatever, in law school it's the same thing. You want to go to a tier 1 law school, so they have more applicants than they have capacity for students, and they reject. You get a rejection letter in the mail saying you have a penis, or you're white, or you're male, you're not a transgendered bipolar freak, who isn't transgendered or bipolar, you just imagine you are, so we really want you, and you can ruin it for all the other students who are just trying to get by protesting and spitting in people's faces and sending bins on fire. So yeah, you get a rejection letter. Now, I'd say half of it is still academic, like what's your SAT scores, what's your GPA. My favorite, what's your extracurricular activities? Were you in student government? Did you just hey, and they never ask, did you work? At University of Clary U, it'd be like, did you work? Yeah, you're in. I don't give a shit if you're a captain of the swim team. Go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit that you were in pom-pom squad or you're a marching band, you're captain of football. Did you work? You did? Hey, come to Cappy University where our kids aren't a bunch of fuck-ups. If you could give a big analysis on the topic, I feel it would be really cool. Which credits transfers, which do not. That depends on the school that you're applying to and where you got your credit. Now, there is accredited. They should transfer. But man, it all depends. Is it the same for the trades? Trades are a little bit different. You can go to not only community college, but then they actually have trade schools. Now, like here in Minnesota, thankfully, the University of Minnesota system, which includes community colleges, offer trades programs like welding, auto mechanics. They even have culinary. By the way, kids, don't go to culinary school. Just tip. That's not in my book, Worthless, but that's just to let you know. I taught it one. It's a joke. And it went belly up. It was great. One of the main ones went belly up, as it should have. But not without first ruining the finances of tens of thousands of students. So you can go that route, but then also in the Twin Cities, there's a very reputable school called Dunwoody. And they do a very good job of getting you a 2-year associate's degree, essentially. But then there's also the unions, where the unions have their own educational certification track, where you go, and I'm going to go, and you start as apprentice, journeyman, and master. All right, and you got to work a certain number of hours in the end, and then you go and you take your journeyman test. And then you're a journeyman, and then you go work under somebody who's a man, and then you take your master test. And again, it depends on the state, because tuition would vary. Some places you might as well just go with the union because the state is so horrendously corrupt. Like New York, and anything East Coast, New York, New Jersey, Boston, it's almost like you can't get, they're union states. And not exactly being against the union, but it's so corrupt. The only way you get, you as a lone sole proprietor, you got to join the union to get in with the system, because it's just horrendous. There's a reason New York sucks. There's a reason those states are losing population in their gross state product. You take Wall Street out of New York, their non-Wall Street economy. You take Silicon Valley out of California, my God, these places suck. It's not a place for young people to be. But you can go either the educational route. I know many people, well, not many, a handful of people that went to Dunwoody, got great educations, make more than me. Not half my age, but certainly in their 20s, making damn good money with a good skill in a trade. And even then, if you want to consider trades at a more, a larger scope, you don't even have to go to college. You could take these, now that everything's IT, let's consider computer skills. We could consider those trades. They're a trade, they're a skill. And you could do that online, programming, get your certifications, computer networking, security, all these things. Thankfully, because the computers are digital, meaning you can get these certifications online. You don't actually have to go to a college campus and pay for parking and get towed and have to pay for fees and get lectured at about, we have diversity, freshman orientation, brainwashing. Nope. You go to a programming boot camp, they don't even know who you are. You're a number. They don't know what color your skin is. Oh my God, are you female? You're going to get raped. None of it's like, hey, did you pay? All right, here's the thing. Have fun self-studying. You take the test, we'll give you a certification. That's it. So that's another trade world, but it's not traditional. It's all online now, and I think it's great. So that's it. It's nothing that I haven't said before over the thousands of videos I've done, or my book here, Worthless. This makes a great Christmas gift. Assuming any of your parents actually love your children, give a shit about them. I know. You just wanted to have children. You don't want to raise them. Fuck that. You just want to, and then the woman 9 months later, yeah, okay, here, take that. I'm gonna go the careerist. What's the name of my son? Oh, fuck it, I don't care. I need to get promoted and get my master's degree. Why did our son murder all those people? Oh, I don't care, because I don't care about my son. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, ASOConsulting.com. We'll see you all later. Toodles.